Everyone assumes the fastest way to go broke is by buying things you cannot afford. We picture people maxing out credit cards on luxury cars. We picture them buying massive houses. We picture them taking lavish vacations in high-end resorts. But Charlie Munger, one of the greatest financial minds in history, realized something terrifying very early in his career. The biggest money mistake you will ever make has absolutely nothing to do with what you buy. It has everything to do with what you do not do. Society deeply believes that if you just stop buying expensive coffee and aggressively cut your spending, you will automatically become wealthy. We celebrate extreme frugality. We obsess over saving pennies. We think that holding a pile of money in a bank account makes us untouchable. But the truth is exactly the opposite. Focusing all your mental energy on simply not spending money is a dangerous psychological trap. It creates a false sense of progress while keeping you permanently paralyzed. You are so afraid of losing money that you completely forget to actually grow it. Before we dive in, remember this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Welcome to Tafha Finance, where we explain investing concepts in a simple way. The concept we are talking about today is the cost of inaction. Think of your financial life exactly like owning a massive fertile farm. Spending too much money is like accidentally stepping on a few of your crops. It causes a little bit of damage. It sets you back a few days, but the farm survives. However, keeping all your money in a dead savings account out of fear is exactly like buying thousands of seeds and locking them inside a dark concrete vault. You feel incredibly safe because the seeds are protected from the rain. You feel responsible because you did not waste them. But those seeds produce absolutely nothing. After a decade, you open the vault and realize you have completely starved. Your farm is dead not because you made a massive mistake, but because you literally did nothing. Let us look at the expectation versus reality trap that catches almost every modern educated professional working in the world today. Imagine a hardworking corporate employee who is terrified of making a financial mistake. They make 80,000 USD a year. They live way below their means. They meticulously track every single. They refuse to take vacations. They proudly save 30,000 USD over a few years. They feel a massive rush of accomplishment. Society tells them they are doing everything right. They leave that 30,000 USD sitting safely in a basic bank account because the stock market feels too risky. They want to protect their hard work. Here's the problem with that plan. Their biological need for absolute certainty completely hijacks their mathematical logic. To soothe their intense anxiety of losing money, they trap their capital in a dead digital box. Fast forward 10 years into the future. They kept saving. They now have 100,000 USD sitting in cash. They look incredibly responsible on the outside. But mathematically, their financial life is a complete and total disaster. Because of inflation, the cost of housing and food skyrocketed. Their 100,000 USD lost 30% of its actual purchasing power. Even worse, by obsessing over safety and refusing to invest, they literally missed out on over 150,000 USD in compound interest growth from a basic index fund. They traded their actual long-term freedom for the temporary comfort of seeing a stagnant number on a screen. Contrast this exhausting, miserable cycle with the approach of elite financial minds like Charlie Munger. When legendary investors analyze wealth, they completely reject the popular instinct to obsess over saving pennies. Munger understood that true wealth is not about perfectly avoiding every single small expense. True wealth is about avoiding errors of omission. An error of omission is when you see a good opportunity to grow your money but you freeze. You do nothing out of fear. You wait for the perfect moment. When Munger had capital, he did not lock it in a vault to feel safe. He aggressively deployed it into highly productive assets. He bought deeply, fundamentally strong businesses. He ruthlessly disconnected his ego from his fear of temporary market drops. He knew that the temporary pain of watching a stock drop 10% is absolutely nothing compared to the permanent destruction of missing out on 1,000% growth over a decade. He valued compound interest over absolute certainty. He knew that playing it too safe is actually the most dangerous game in the world. This is not just a psychological theory. The real-world historical data behind market growth versus cash hoarding is absolutely terrifying for anyone trying to play it safe. A deep dive into economic data reveals a devastating truth about inflation. If you kept 100,000 USD in a standard bank account from 2010 to 2020, your money mathematically lost massive amounts of buying power. But if you invested that same money in a broad market index fund of the top 500 companies, your wealth multiplied dramatically without you lifting a single finger. Why does this number matter? Because it mathematically proves that avoiding investments is actually the most aggressive financial mistake you can make. The data absolutely destroys the myth that holding cash is a safe haven. By trying to be perfectly safe, you are simply painting a massive financial target on your own back. Here's the part that surprises almost everyone. Highly intelligent, deeply educated people are actually the fastest demographic to fall into this exact inaction trap. Why do smart people willingly sabotage their wealth by playing it too safe? It comes down to three deeply ingrained psychological traps that completely bypass human logic and intelligence. First, the loss aversion trap. The human brain evolved over millions of years to violently protect what it already has. Psychological studies prove that the psychological pain of losing 1,000 USD feels twice as intense as the joy of gaining 1,000 USD. In ancient history, losing your food supply meant death. Today, when you think about investing, your brain registers the exact same biological threat as a physical predator attacking you. You falsely believe that keeping money in a bank protects you. You literally trade your future compounding assets just to satisfy your primitive biological need for immediate tactile safety. You pay a massive financial premium just to soothe your biological anxiety. Charlie Munger hacked this by forcing his logical brain to see inflation as the true predator, not market volatility. Second, the paradox of action. We naturally assume that making a mistake by taking action is far worse than making a mistake by doing nothing. If you invest your money and the market drops, you feel intense guilt because you actively caused it. If you leave money in the bank and inflation slowly destroys it, you blame the government. You blame the economy. It feels like it is not your fault. The human brain completely tricks you. Because your wealth is eroding invisibly, it is incredibly easy to ignore. You violently procrastinate your actual investing because playing the victim feels more comfortable than taking responsibility. You protect your fragile ego, but you completely destroy your financial momentum. Munger hacked this by redefining risk. He viewed sitting in cash as an active, aggressive decision to destroy his own purchasing power. Third, the penny-wise trap. The human brain is a biological machine violently optimized to focus on what is right in front of its face. When you spend 3 hours driving to 5 different stores to save 10 USD on groceries, your brain releases a massive wave of dopamine. You feel incredibly productive, but logic completely disappears. Because you deeply want to feel responsible, you exhaust your mental energy on tiny decisions and completely ignore your massive investment portfolio. You trap your future in decades of financial stress simply because saving a few has triggered your primitive reward system. Munger hacked this by completely ignoring trivial expenses and focusing 100% of his mental energy on massive, compounding decisions. Here's the catch. You can completely rewrite this toxic biological programming by attacking the root identity of your fear rather than just trying to save more pennies. You cannot just rely on manual willpower to force yourself to invest. You need a cold, hard system to protect your money from your own ego and anxiety. Decide that today you will automate your courage. You must establish a strict mechanical rule, forcing yourself to value compound interest over temporary safety. Set up an automated system that deducts exactly 20% of your income and immediately buys a broad market index fund the exact day you get paid. You mathematically force your logical brain to take control back from your emotional brain. Your brain literally cannot panic and hoard cash if your money is mathematically swept into productive assets before you can even look at it. Decide that today you will redefine financial risk. Stop relying on your primitive instincts to evaluate safety. Your primitive brain is just as insecure and exhausted as everyone else. You must actively choose to view a dead bank account as an active threat to your survival. When you see a large amount of uninvested cash sitting on a screen, train your brain to feel the exact same anxiety you would feel if someone was stealing from your wallet. You mathematically trap yourself into owning productive assets simply to escape the pain of inflation. Decide that today you will implement the trivial expense rule. Never rely on extreme frugality to build your wealth. You must decide today to completely stop stressing over any expense under 50 USD if it brings you joy or saves you time. You must completely remove the human ego from your daily spending. By letting go of penny pinching, you mathematically free up your mental energy to focus entirely on increasing your income and optimizing your massive investments. Big takeaway: the absolute fastest way to stay permanently broke is to deeply believe that refusing to invest will magically save you from financial ruin. True wealth is not about perfectly avoiding every single mistake and hiding your money in a dark cave. True wealth is about absolutely refusing to surrender your capital to a primitive fear response. True wealth is owning the boring, invisible digital systems that keep compounding your money while everyone else is panicking over the daily news. If you look at your past and realize you have completely panicked and hoarded cash out of fear, take a deep breath. Do not panic. You are not stupid. You are not lazy. You are not a weak person destined for failure. You are simply fighting against millions of years of human tribal evolution that relentlessly prioritizes your immediate feeling of safety over your long-term survival. You are fighting this battle against a massive financial news machine designed to monetize your terror. Wanting to feel safe is completely normal. The problem only starts when that fear begins making your financial decisions for you. Acknowledging this psychological warfare is the very first step to escaping it. You have the ultimate power to step out of your comfort zone and fix the bugs in your operating system right now. If you found value in this breakdown, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can keep making these videos for you. Let me know down in the comments. What is the biggest investment opportunity you completely missed out on simply because you were too afraid to take action? Be honest. I read every single one. Also, check out this other video on the screen right now where we break down another massive investing myth. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.